गोवन वार्ता लाईव्हचं यूट्यूब चॅनल सबस्क्राईब करा आणि बेल आयकॉन दाबून लेटेस्ट व्हिडिओचं नोटिफिकेशन मिळवा।
ज्येष्ठ पत्रकार संदेश प्रभुदेसाई यांच्या अजीब गोव्याचं गजब राजकारण या बहुचर्चित पुस्तकाचं अखेर प्रकाशन झालं। अलाहाबाद हायकोर्टचे निवृत्त न्यायाधीश डॉक्टर फर्दिनो रिबेलो यांच्या हस्ते हा सोहळा पार पडला। गोव्याच्या राजकीय इतिहासाचा पुनर्शोध घेताना लेखक संदेश प्रभुदेसाई यांनी काही धक्कादायक गोष्टी समोर आणल्या आहेत। गोव्याचं राजकारण, अर्थकारण आणि समाजकारण हे कसं जमिनींभोवती फिरतंय आणि त्यातून गोव्याचा कसा नाश होतोय याचे भयानक वास्तव या पुस्तकातून अधोरेखित झाल्यानं हे पुस्तक बरंच गाजण्याची शक्यता आहे।
अजीब है ये गोवा के लोग असं कधी काळी पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू यांनी म्हटलं होतं। गोयकारांचं हे अजीबपण नेमकं काय आहे? ज्येष्ठ पत्रकार संदेश प्रभुदेसाई यांनी बरंच संशोधन आणि अभ्यास करून लिहिलेल्या अजीब गोव्याचं गजब राजकारण या पुस्तकातून हे अजीबपण अधोरेखित झालंय। 1963 साली महाराष्ट्रवादी गोमंतक पक्षाचं सरकार स्थापन होणं ते 2017च्या विधानसभा निवडणुकीत 13 भाजप आमदारांपैकी 7 अल्पसंख्याक ख्रिस्ती आमदार निवडून येण्यापर्यंतच्या अकल्पित गोष्टींचा धांदोळा या पुस्तकात घेण्यात आलाय। गोव्याची निर्मिती परशुरामानं केली या दंतकथेचा मागोवाही त्यांनी घेतलाय। शेवटी गोव्याच्या सगळ्याच घडामोडींचा केंद्रबिंदू हा इथल्या जमिनी आहेत आणि याच जमिनीभोवती आजचं राजकारण कसं घिरट्या घालतंय याचा पंचनामाच प्रभुदेसाई यांनी या पुस्तकात केलाय। या पुस्तकावरील परिसंवादात निवृत्त न्यायमूर्ती फेर्दिनो रिबेलो यांच्यासह गोवा विद्यापीठाच्या डी कोसंबी चेअरचे व्हिजिटिंग प्रोफेसर पीटर रोनाल्ड डिसोजा आणि राजकीय विश्लेषक ॲडव्होकेट क्लेओफात आल्मेदा यांनी भाग घेतला। गोव्यातील भ्रष्टाचार निपटून काढणं ही काळाची गरज आहे आणि त्यासाठी जनआंदोलन उभं राहण्याची गरज या परिसंवादात व्यक्त झाली। 16B ची दुरुस्ती ही गोवा नष्ट करणारी ठरणार असून चुकीची धोरणं आणि अव्यवहार्य विकासाच्या संकल्पना गोव्याचं अस्तित्वच धोक्यात आणू शकतं असा सूर या परिसंवादातून उमटला।
आणि तातूंतल्यान हांवें रीच जालो बट एक गजाल म्हाका बरेंशी दिसताली कारण एक म्हणजे म्हाका दिसतालें की गोंया बद्दलच आमकां अजून पर्यंत कांय गजालीची क्लॅरिटी ना। देर आर लॉट ऑफ मिसकन्सेप्शन अबाउट गोवा इन अवर ओन मायंड। सो ती मिसकन्सेप्शन पयस करपाची। दुसरें जे भायल्यान येतात ते भलतीच कितें तरी इम्प्रेशन्स घेवन येता गोंयचे बद्दल। आम आदमी पार्टी आयली लास्ट इलेक्शनाक आनी आपलो दिल्ली मॉडेल हाडून हांगा इम्पोज करपाक लागली। दे थॉट दॅट सेम मॉडेल वील वर्क इन गोवा। And I had very good friends in that party, म्हणजे जर्नलिस्ट फ्रेंड्स आशिल्ले आणि तांकां सांगतालो की बाबा तुम्ही एकूय सीट जिखची ना, ते सांगताले आमी 35 सीट जिखतले। सो ह्या तो डिफरन्स। सो हे कित्या खातीर जाता ह्या गजालींतल्यान खूब विचार तकले भितर चलत आशिल्लो। ह्या खेपेक आतां परत वेस्ट बेंगॉल मॉडेल इज इम्पोज्ड आनी तांकां दिसता की त्या मॉडेलान चल्ले जाल्यार गोंया भितर सगळे मतदार आसा ते आमचे फाटल्यान घेतले। मोदीच कोण तरी परत अजूनही लोक शाणे जायनात। आम आदमी पार्टी येता आनी भंडारी चीफ मिनिस्टर, ख्रिश्चन डेप्युटी चीफ मिनिस्टर अशे तरेच्यो गजाली हें करतात। हांव केन्ना कोणाकूय विचारता आमचे गोंयकार मेळटकर आरे तूं कितें दिसता आमकां दिस इज दी ओनली रिएक्शन एंड दॅट रिएक्शन सेज एवरीथिंग। ओके कारण बेसिकली गोंया भितर आज पर्यंत खूब जाणां दिसता आमच्या जर्नलिस्टांक दिसता की जातीचेर राजकारण जाता, धर्माचेर राजकारण जाता। धर्माचेर राजकारण करपा खातीर आयिल्ल्या लोकांक धर्म सोडून दुसऱ्या धर्मांतल्या लोकांक घेवन पार्टी गव्हर्नमेंट फॉर्म करची पडली। ताचे शिवाय ती जावपाकूच शकनाशिल्ली। हाजो साक्षात्कार जालो 2-3 इलेक्शना नंतर जालो गोंयकारांकच। सो ही परिस्थिती। सो ह्यो सगळ्यो गजाली इन ब्लॅक अँड व्हाईट सगळ्यो बरोवच्यो अशें दिसलें आनी त्या हातूंतल्यान जेन्ना हांव बूक बरोवपाक घेतलो तातूंतले हांवें जे चॅप्टर्स काडिल्ले त्या चॅप्टर्सांतले फक्त 1/3 चॅप्टर्स हातूंत भितर आसात। आनी ह्या गजालीच्या बाबतींत एक म्हणून ॲडव्होकेट अमृत कासाराक हें पुस्तक ओपलां कारण तो एक मनीस जो मनीस त्या मनशाक खबर आशिल्लें की सगळें कितें हें जमनीचें राजकारण। ताणें म्हाका सदांच सांगप हें जमनीचें राजकारण आनी ह्या जमनीच्या राजकारणा भितर सगळें कितें घुसपलां की भाऊसाहेब बांदोडकर आनी नंतर शशिकला काकोडकरान लँड टू दी टिलर हाडलें आनी ताजें इम्प्लिमेंटेशन जावपाक 1990 कित्याक येवचो पडटा। ह्या सगळ्या गजालीचो ती 10 वर्सां त्या 10 वर्सां भितर कितें जालें कितें जाली ना वा कित्याक ती जमीन जावपाक शकली ना आनी जेन्ना जाल्ली तेन्ना लोकांनी शेत करपाची सोडून दिल्ली। तातूंतल्यान आज गोंयची परिस्थिती कितें जाल्ली आसा।
You know, as I said in my foreword, this is a book which has something for everybody. If you're curious about Goa, you would like to begin your investigative journey by reading the book. If you're a scholar of politics, when you read the book, you will find a lot of questions that the book throws up. If you're a student of policy studies, Goa is a very fertile ground to understand when policies work, when they don't work. So the book is a very valuable text. But please do not read this book as an academic text. It's an opening text. It's a platform from which academic research must begin. So do not see this book as giving you a complete picture of the state of Goan politics today. It is not. It is a chronicle. And that's very important. In every society, for a society to be able to grow, it needs memory. It needs somebody to tell them this is what the society is about. And through history, all over the world, there are such chroniclers. Sandesh Bhai has started, I hope, will be a new tradition of chronicling the history of Goa, right? Of chronicling contemporary politics, because this is an important chronicle. So in this book, through its 13 chapters, which range from the first elections to land, through migration, through politics which confounded the national elites, through migration, a lot of questions are thrown up. And I hope this book, that's my first aspiration. I hope this book will be the beginning of a new public debate.
The book has thrown many questions. Yes, many questions have been thrown up by the book. The book actually revolves around the politics of Goa and the land around the politics. In fact, if we look at the book, we find that, say, from 1963 to 1990 has been around the land reform laws and whether they are implemented or not implemented. But from 90 onwards, it is not around the land reform laws, but from 90 onwards is the politics of the land. I would say the book should also be for the parties. See, if we look at what has started in 1990 and thereafter, the civil society has been agitating over various environment issues. In the past 2 or 3 years, we have been finding that the issue of Mole, the 3 linear projects are at the forefront, but the single important issue that is not getting the required attention is what Sandesh has highlighted, and that is the introduction of 16B into the Town and Country Planning Act. According to me, this 16B is so disastrous that it is, say, 20 times, 25 times worse than the 3 linear projects. The amount of conversions, land conversions from agricultural, from orchard to commercial, which have been highlighted in the last part of the book, according to me, is the book has come out at the right time, and somehow across the parties there has to be some consensus over deletion of this 16B.
See, to be a legislator was thought to be an honor, to be proud of. But tell me, those of you who are present today over here, how many of you all think that to be a legislator is something like an honor? All that we hear is Ali Baba ki 40 chor. Unfortunately, this is what has become of the politics of Goa today. But this was not always so. There was a time when there was integrity. There was a time when political parties respected each other. There was a time when the ruling party respected the opposition. And there was a time when corruption was practically absent in Goan politics. I happened to be a legislator in 1977 until unfortunately we brought down the MGP government. It's a very short term. We thought that we would come to power, but possibly Moraji thought otherwise, and he dissolved the assembly. But what was it that in those days that made a legislator respectable to be a part of the system? I will just give you two instances on the floor of the House. We were debating the Munkarial law. There were some deficiencies. I, as a practicing lawyer, had found out that there is a need for a declaration to be power to be conferred on the Mamluddar to give a declaration so that a person can be declared the Munkar, which was missing. I argued the matter on a private member's day. And on a private member's day, normally, the government stand is, yes, we shall look into it, and the motion is to be defeated. But believe me, after I spoke, Mrs. Kakodkar, Thai as she was known then, sent Mr. Shirodkar to me, asking why don't you move an amendment now. I moved the amendment, and the amendment was passed unanimously by the entire House. That was the first private member's bill, Section 8A of the Munkar Act, which came through from an opposition bench after the Chief Minister, instead of telling him to sit down, will bring it, made a call upon me to make the amendment. This was the kind of discourse. The second discourse was when the cow slaughter bill was being brought about. It was a general debate, prevention of slaughter of everything. So I had there were 3 constitutional judgments of the Supreme Court on the issue. I said I will go on arguing for 3 days until the cows come home. I said we have no objection, though some brought it on the religious lines, but that was basically on the agriculture. It was basically, since India was a predominantly agricultural nation and cow was the basis of milk, so that was the intention behind the Constituent Assembly bringing in under the directive principles. So I said we will not oppose the cow and the cow because that's required to regenerate. But why the bull? Mrs. Kakodkar listened to that again and said move the amendment. I was to move the amendment, but my colleague Mr. Sheikh was there. He says I want to move it. I said fine, you move it. But the amendment was moved, the amendment was passed. So here was a ruling party willing to listen to the opposition. Does that happen today? That is absence. So politics must come back to that stage where we are not enemies. Political parties are not enemies of each other. There may be differences of opinions. There may be differences of ideologies. But the point is, we are here to see that democracy is strengthened and the constitution is strengthened.